Before I start this review, I just want to do a really big shout out and a really big thank you to Rapman. Not only being in this film for the masses to see, but introducing the world on the big screen, jollof rice. I really appreciate it. And it wasn't the typical jollof rice, it was the one your mum makes at home. The big plate of rice and the biggest, fattest chicken on the plate. So I'd like to thank you for that. That touched home. Let me start the review. Hi guys, Stephen Geekface. I'm back here with another review for yourself here today, which is for the film called Blue Story, directed by Rapman. Rapman became a YouTube sensation last year with a short series called Charo Story, which became global, it was trending all over online when it came out last year, and now he's got a bigger project on the bigger screen. It's about two rival gangs in South London who go through some turmoil, revenge, loss, and it shows the conflict between these two rival gangs. So, how does this film play out? The acting in this film was really good, especially from the two main actors played by Michael Ward, who's from Top Boy, and Stephen Onwubolu, who did a really good job playing these two friends who had to go their separate ways because of conflict between gangs, family and friends, and death and all sorts. It was really sad to see them separate and become this two rivalry where they were actually at each other's throats. You wish this, you just wished in the film they just shook hands and they went to go and play FIFA or something. A really good performance by an actor who I haven't seen for years called Khaled Best, who was really good in this film. I think I recognise him from EastEnders, from back in the day. There was another actor from Hollyoaks. I know Hollyoaks, I've seen a couple episodes, don't judge me, but he was really good and he had a really short scene, but he was really good in this. Actor who played Switcher, I forgot his name now, did a really good performance. Carla Spence did a really good job of the scene she was in. Yeah, the acting overall was really top notch for everyone and everyone really brought it home. Some extras were, a bit of the stereotype, and they exaggerated with some of the slang and some of the acting. But overall, it was really good acting from everyone in this film. The violence in this film is up there. It does show a real portray of, the violence that we have in London City right now. This plays a really good portrayal of that. The music in this was really good, a really good soundtrack. Rapman, who was the director, who had this idea of telling the story as it goes along through interludes, him rapping over certain scenes that really worked, that really blended well throughout the movie. There were some really emotional points in the film, dramatic scenes that really hit home, and I could relate in some way. I thought of someone who I knew who went to school, who lived in Peckham and actually went to school in Lewisham, and I can only imagine the conflicts and the things they had to go through while they were there, because the rivalry thing between Peckham and Lewisham was a real thing. As someone who grew up in Peckham, I remember those times of people asking where are you from, and I don't know if it still happens now. I'm not in that world anymore, but I remember there was a lot of that going on when I was growing up. So that was good to see that on the big screen, and I could relate to it. And I know a lot of young people who watch the film are going to relate to certain scenes. Now that leads into the bad. As much as I said a lot of young people relate, I feel like the older audience, so like your parents, your grandparents, your uncle, they might not know what's going on, especially with the pacing and some of the dialogue. There is some slang here or there, but I think you can get an idea, and especially you can understand the turmoil between characters and their emotions. Even though I liked the plot and I liked the way it was going, by the second half of the film, it just became just things just happening, and there was not really, the story had kind of just sat on the side, and it kind of took me out of the film, and I didn't really feel anything after that. But plot wise, it's a bit weak, but the message they're trying to portray is there. It gets lost with all the gang violence and becomes almost like fantasy about just what's going to happen now and who shoots who and who stabs who, and it just goes back and forth. Wish they would just had more wider shots for everyone to see what's going on. There was a lot of close-ups I don't know if it was an idea because of the way they had to cut it and had to cut the violence and some of the fight scenes. I just wish some of the shots were a bit wider for everyone to just see what's going on, just to give it that more cinema feel. This is a good film. I can't really give it too much complaints. As I said, I think the young people are going to love it. I know they're all going to rush out to see it this weekend. The older people, or anyone who isn't in that world, they might not get it straight away. It might take a time. They might need one of their, their kids or their grandkids to kind of tell them what's going on and fill in some of the gaps for them. But overall, this is a really good film. It's well directed. The story, as I said, it has some problems. And even though it's not original, because if you've seen films like, Kidulthood, Adulthood, the recently Top Boy that was on Netflix, or even stuff like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, or Juice, we would have seen something similar before, and it doesn't really bring nothing new to the table. Really good effort from all the cast. It's a film I can only recommend to the young people and not to anyone older than, 38 possibly. Maybe 38, maybe 40. That's how far I'd push it. I'm going to give this film a 7 out of 10. Definitely go and check it out if you want to see how the UK scene is moving and to get an idea of what's going on in the streets with the young people. Especially recently we've had a lot of knife crime and gun crime. So, are you going to watch this film? I know you're going to watch this film, especially if you're anyone under 25. You're going to definitely go check out this film. Let me know in the comments down below. What's your favourite UK gangster movie? What's your favourite US gangster movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Remember to like, share, stay blessed, stay geeked.